governance to stakeholders that are really important for UN Habitat and for urban planning in general. Also, they have the role of training the next generation of urban planners. So, of course, we would like them to collaborate with us and to agree on the principle that should be set for these trainings. The universities are also very important to close the gap between the theory and the practice. As in every field of work, you have what is developed by researcher, the academia, concepts, theories, but then you always have this challenge of implementing it in the ground, creating the bridge between the theory and the practice. And universities that can be the one who create that bridge with partners as UN Habitat and all, with experts and implementers like City, etc. They also have a key role in innovation because not most of the time, but a lot of the time, the innovation come from the academia sector. And they have also a long-term impact because they have a national ownership and institutionalization of capacity building on the urban sustainability. So through capacity building, we believe that they can disseminate, again, good practices in terms of urban planning, development of housing for all, etc. And of course, last but not least, the university have, all of them, the role to create professional capacity. So we need them to expand the professional pool of planners because in many countries, and I believe Saudi Arabia is one of them, we need more planners. We don't have enough urban planners to work on all the projects. And in this country is really striking because you have so many urban projects, mega projects, the country is being urbanized very quickly. So we need that skills. Next slide, please. How do we collaborate with those universities? Yes. So how do we collaborate? We have several types of cooperations that I wanted to share with you. First, very simple, through the information and research. Us, UN Habitat, and also the towns, the cities, the regional developers, the private sector even, because the private sector is really important in urban planning. They need information. They need to know what is the reality of different field of expertise, and this information, this data is super important. So because at the UN specifically we work a lot on evidence-based approach, so we'll have an analysis, we'll know very well what is the context we're working on, have some data, and then propose the solution and implement it. So information and research is key. Second, capacity building. The capacity building is really important because you need to, let's say, skill the people, develop the capacities, the competencies of the people, and universities can play that role naturally. And when I say the people, I'm speaking about the students, but also about the professionals. We really believe that the professionals, young and less young, can, through their career, keep on developing their competencies and learn new skills, new principles, and universities can be universities can play a big role on that. Finally, the technical collaboration and innovation. We spoke about the information that they may have. We spoke about the capacity building, but now, as urban planners, we also need experts to work on our project. So the universities as institutions or their experts as individuals, they can be part of a technical and operational project. Next slide, please. So now I would like to focus a little bit more on our experience here in Saudi Arabia with universities. Next slide, please. The first project I would like to speak about is a big project that we developed with MOMERA, the Ministry of Municipal, Rural Affairs and Housing. Where that lasted 8 years, almost 7 years, from 2014 to 2020. Sorry, I think this is a mistake. 20, not 22. And here the universities played many roles. First, there were stakeholders. As I just told you, the universities or their experts can be part of an urban project as implementers. So they attended many workshops and meetings during this for this project, and they were like here all the time with the team. This project, sorry, I forgot to introduce it, was a big project where UN Habitat worked on the 17 main cities in Saudi Arabia to develop city profiles with data, with analysis, and to propose master plans, projects to develop these cities based on their own specific challenges. So again, the universities played a key role and were here at each phase of the project. Second, the experts from the universities, they were very important because while working with us, they were working with UN Habitat principle and the new urban agenda principle. So those experts from King Saud, King Abdulaziz, King Fahd of Petroleum and Minerals universities, they then implemented those principles in their classrooms, in their universities. So they kind of spread naturally the UN Habitat principle and the SDGs within their academic field and context. We also, UN Habitat, took the opportunity to work with the universities to reach youth, because it's not just about the experts, it's also about the students. And the students are really important for us because there's the youth, they are, let's say, very important in the facts, taking into consideration the fact they are users of the cities, especially in Saudi Arabia. You have a very important youth in terms of demographics is really important. Also the gender, how to reach women, to ask them about what is a good city for you, how to plan a city for women. So all that perspective, specific perspective, were generated through the youth and gender networks and were able to integrate their opinion in our city profile. Also, we organized many competitions to develop master plan, to work with architects, etc. And more than 10 universities participated to that different competitions, and the students, they were involved. So it was a kind of project for them, but very operational, based on a real a project that could be developed for a city in Saudi Arabia, one of the 17 cities. And finally, UN Habitat organized 2 Saudi urban forums, and the academia was an active participant because they kind of organized it with us, and of course they were presenting and they were very, let's say, present during all the events, the panels, etc. Last and next slide, please. I would like to present to you the other projects we worked on and where universities were heavily involved. This one was from 2020 to 2022. It was also with MOMRA, but it was with the housing deputyship. So we were in partnership with the housing deputyship within MOMRA, but we also worked with NGOs, local NGOs led by women, and universities like Dar al-Ulum, for instance. Yes. And what did we do? We developed a fully implementable, sustainable housing concept plan. So it's a type of affordable housing, let's say, in 2 selected locations in Saudi Arabia that can serve as a pilot for the future activities of the deputyship, because this deputyship again was dedicated to these development housing that are totally linked with the Vision 2030 in the country. So the objective was here to demonstrate how to incorporate sustainable and inclusive principles in the housing field and to raise the quality of life of the inhabitant, taking into consideration that the inhabitants were mostly low-income Saudi families. It was really important to reach that target. And again, the universities, through their experts and through their students, you can see in the bottom picture our executive director Maimouna Mohchalif and the former ED Nathalie with the students from Al Faisal University, posing after a workshop where they created a concept plan for housing. So it was a really interesting moment where the universities and their students were able to work on a real project that the ministry could tomorrow implement. This is it for me. If you have any questions, please let me know, and thank you very much again.